All right, Doc, in this video, I thought it was just important to help you understand why I chose the founding principles that I did and why I used the words that I did, and maybe also why I left certain words or concepts out. I chose 4. I didn't want to do too many, and I don't think you should either, because it's asking people to memorize a lot of stuff, and 4 just seems to be the right fit. Obviously, I wanted to focus on health. I mean, that's what the game we're in, right? So I wanted to focus on changing the conversation, changing the understanding of health, helping people upgrade their ability to understand and communicate what chiropractic is, what a subluxation is, and what an adjustment is. I figure those 4 kind of covers a lot of ground. So obviously you can agree, when I chose my founding principle number 1, what is health, which is usually how I start my programs with this one, health is a state of optimal function and not merely the absence of pain, symptoms, or disease. Now, if you look up the real definition, it might have a couple extra words in there. I like to say the most amount with the least amount of words. And I also like to have some flexibility and some dynamic capacity built into this stuff. So I probably wrote many of these founding principles a couple different ways, several different times, and finally decided that this says the most with the least amount of words, and that's what I stuck to. So hopefully you agree with a lot of these and you can just use them as your own and save yourself a lot of the time trying to move words around and changing things as you go. I obviously wanted to focus on mostly function, getting people to understand that health is about function, not about feeling good moment to moment. You'll see that throughout every one of the PowerPoint slides, trying to shift their consciousness, their paradigm, their perspective from feeling good to functioning good. So a lot of great conversations have been had off sharing this founding principle with so many people, patients, and including our staff. The other one, founding principle number 2, what is chiropractic? Most people cannot describe chiropractic to other people, or they try, but it just sounds horrible, including many chiropractors, including many staff members in chiropractic offices. So I figured, let's fix that. That has got to be fixed. So to me, this is something that makes a lot of sense to me, but more importantly, I feel like it can make sense to somebody who's not me, who hasn't been through chiropractic school, who hasn't read the green books, who isn't steeped in chiropractic philosophy. I left a lot of that stuff out intentionally. This is a starting point, a founding principle when somebody new comes to join my practice in terms of a teammate. What are they understand? They're not confused by it. It seems pretty obvious. Same thing goes for the patient. So chiropractic is the science, art, and philosophy of improving how the spine and nervous system regulate bodily functions from the inside out. I wanted inside out in there. I wanted functions. I wanted spine and nervous system, because that's what chiropractic is to me. It's not just focusing on the spine and the joints. It's not just focusing on neurology. It's both. So for me, this is very congruent. It says a lot about who I am and what we believe in my practice, and hopefully it jives with you and you can use it word for word or customize it to fit you best. Just make sure that it makes sense to the average Joe or Jill off the street who knows nothing. There's no words in there that are confusing. That's the key. Founding principle number 3, a subluxation is a condition whereby the spine is not aligned properly or moving properly, which promotes dysfunction of the muscles and joints, the nerves and organs, and even the brain. So again, I don't have to read it. You should be testing me. A subluxation is a condition whereby the spine is not aligned properly or moving properly, which promotes dysfunction of the muscles and the joints, the nerves and the organs, and even the brain. And that's how you want your staff to say it. That's how you want to be able to say it conversationally, right? And then you could go on and on. Obviously, chiropractic is about promoting better function of the muscles and joints. But did you know that it's about improving function of the nerves and organs? Did you even know that it's about improving the function of the brain? No, you didn't know that, did you, patient X? Right? And that's how you evolve the conversation and plant seeds, right? But there's nothing in there that's weird or misunderstood by the average person off the street who has no chiropractic background. So it's easy for people to resonate with and align with and regurgitate back to people at the dinner table who need a chiropractor too. Now what you'll see interesting here is, subluxation. That's the problem that we offer a solution to via chiropractic. I didn't want my people to have to memorize too much, so the problem and the solution are just kind of like the inverse of each other. So I didn't change too much words here. Chiropractic adjustment improves alignment and movement of the spine, which promotes better function of the muscles and joints, the nerves and organs, and even the brain, right? So we just flip-flopped it. One promotes dysfunction of these pieces and parts that patient X is probably concerned about or knows about or has issues with, right, or their family did. And my solution as a chiropractor just so happens to address those and promote better function in those things, right, in the whole system. And it's fairly all-inclusive. Again, I think it says a lot with the least amount of words. I know it's a lot of words, but I wanted it to say a lot. I didn't want to leave anything out. So those are our 4 founding principles. Now that's a starting point. I love evolving the conversation into things like innate intelligence or vitalism. Those things all are in play in my practice, but usually not initially, because those words are foreign to people. Those concepts may be weird and unusual to a lot of people, so I don't introduce them until I at least start building the foundation of their understanding and belief systems and values in chiropractic at the ground level, nice and easy and firm, and then I start building up on top of that foundation with bigger ideas and bigger concepts. So just a little suggestion for you guys in terms of, are you going to use these or are you going to customize your own? And if you do customize your own, try to use the same methodology, the same strategy in designing your own, and you'll do exceptionally well in this program. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that this impacts you in a major way indefinitely, and I hope it helps you serve more people on a grander scale. I would love your comments and feedback, of course, and always. And please, down below, there should be a little social share tab somewhere. You share that to somebody, it will share it on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. It will send them back to the very beginning of this program and help them go through these stages of understanding as well. Again, thanks for watching. Go be who the world needs you to be. Doc, go be limitless.